All right, welcome everyone to the 2021-2022 At-Large Candidate presentations and thought questions. Each candidate is going to give their speech or presentation, and then it will be followed by a question and answer section, which each candidate is given a random question and they have to answer. So first up, we have candidate number 1, Carson Smith.
Hi, I'm Carson Smith, and I love tacos. I know this is cheesy, but let's taco about what a state council member should be. Come to think of it, a good taco and a good council member have a lot in common. It all starts with a good foundation. Like a fresh homemade tortilla, my morals are strong and I'm dependable. Next comes the meat, which should be well seasoned. As a council member, I can bring fun and innovation, and I'm well seasoned in multiple 4-H projects, from livestock and judging to public speaking and photography. Next comes the toppings, like lettuce and tomatoes. At the top of my list is giving back to others what 4-H has given to me. And last but not least, my favorite, queso. My favorite part of 4-H is the friendships. As a council member, I want to help others make lasting friendships and provide the opportunity for new experiences. So vote Carson Smith, candidate 1, and let's taco about Texas 4-H.
Thank you, Carson. Candidate number 2 is Brinley Allison.
Picture this. You're heating up a pot of water. You check the temperature. It comes out to be 211 degrees, which is pretty hot, but not quite there. So you turn up the heat. Shortly after, the water begins to boil. So you check the temperature again. It comes out to be 212 degrees. 1 degree. Through this one change, you have given the boiling water the ability to create food for thousands, purify water, or even create steam that can power a locomotive. And because of what? 1 degree. Howdy, Texas 4-H. I'm Brinley Allison, and I have seen many glimpses of this 1 degree concept in my own life. Like, for starters, the one decision my parents made to put their children into 4-H, where their youngest daughter, that being me, found her greatest passions in this organization through things like showing livestock, food challenge, quiz bowl teams, meat judging, public speaking, and many leadership opportunities. But this 1 degree didn't just happen. It required turning up the heat. Over the years, I have turned up the heat in my own life through taking chances, putting myself out there, service, sacrifice, and involvement. And whether I won or lost, I learned that servant leadership, heart, passion, teamwork, and determination were all required to be successful. Texas 4-H, this is who I am and what I have to offer you. So let's turn up the heat. Let me be that 1 degree Texas 4-H. Vote Brinley Allison.
Thank you, Brinley. We will now move on to candidate number 3, Anna Vela.
A wise man once told me that the most important 10 two-letter words are, if it is to be, it is up to me. When I joined 4-H, it was up to me to find my passion. Howdy, my name is Anna Vela, candidate number 3. Merriam-Webster defines passion as a strong feeling or emotion. I define it as the love I have to work goats in the humid 100-degree South Texas heat and the persistent attitude I possess to get junior members to go out and get involved in 4-H. Through my 6 years within this organization, I quickly discovered my passion was in agriculture and serving others. 4-H is so much more than blue rosettes and leather banners. It is the foundation for friendships that feel like family, and numerous trips to towns that I begin to call home. Having the opportunity to meet members and go on trips throughout Texas has given me insight on what is truly happening outside of my concealed border town and how I could be a big benefactor in improving some of the situations other 4-H counties are facing. Obtaining over 800 community service hours, creating friendships all the way up in the Panhandle, and going on unforgettable ambassador trips is how I found my passion and is something everyone should experience. Texas 4-H, it is up to you to determine what you want your passion to be and what you will do with it. There are over 550,000 Texas 4-H members, and every single one of you has a different passion. Let me help you discover your passion by serving as one of your Delegate at-Large members. Thank you, and remember to vote on Vela, candidate number 3.
Thank you, Anna. Moving on, candidate number 4 withdrew from the election due to a prior commitment. So we will move on to candidate number 5, Jonathan Good.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jonathan Good, and the 3 things that I want you to really remember or impress upon you for Texas 4-H is opportunity, growth, and application. Now, I think 4-H has many great opportunities for us, or especially for me, whenever I started 4-H, there's great opportunities, all sorts of things you can do. But I think you get into 4-H for the opportunities, but you stay for the growth. And I think that that's something that I really want to impress upon. And if you elect me to be your representative for the Texas At-Large Council, that I want to have as much as possible in the next year. I think recently, especially with the recent shutdowns and things like that, we've been able to have a lot of growth, a lot of great webinars and things in Texas 4-H, but we've kind of lost the ability to apply those things in in-person events. So truly, if I believe that if you elect me to be your at-large representative, I'm going to do my absolute best to have as many in-person opportunities for you, because 4-H has given me the opportunity to grow so much as an individual. I started out in the 4-H shooting sports project, but I really stayed because of the well-roundedness that 4-H made me. It made me more well-rounded. It gave me better public speaking skills. It allowed me to become a better member of my community, and showed me how to start service projects and things. And I really want the next generation of 4-Hers to have those same opportunities. So I want them to have the opportunities to grow as 4-H moves on into the future. So I think the most important things to remember in 4-H, and really the important things, are the opportunities that it gives you, the ability, how it allows you to grow, and then applying those things in person. And I think that that's definitely what I want to do if you would like me to be your at-large representative. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Once and again, my name is Jonathan Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. We will now move on to candidate number 6, Collier Miller.
Hello, Texas 4-H. Before he decided to run for president, Donald Trump was asked whether or not he thought the American people would vote for him. His wise answer to this question was, people would vote for me. Why? Maybe because I'm so good looking. Hi, my name is Collier Miller, candidate number 6, and I'm asking for your vote for Texas 4-H at-large delegate because I've got the face of an angel. Think about it. Every time I ask for your concerns, give a speech, or stand up on that stage, you're going to have to look at this face. So why not consider this face to represent you as an at-large delegate? All joking aside, one of my favorite sayings is, it's hard to measure almost because almost doesn't matter. Like everyone, I've had a few almosts in my life. I almost made it to state tennis this year. My team almost qualified for Roundup. While I am proud of these accomplishments, almost isn't good enough. I came off those tennis courts vowing to work all summer to improve my game. My team celebrated a 3rd place win while strategizing how to win it all next year. I want to take these almosts and turn them into wins. Texas 4-H, I do not want to almost serve on state council. I want to wholeheartedly serve the Texas 4-H with purpose and passion. I spent the past 9 years working to serve my club, my county, and my district in various leadership capacities. I have practiced skills in teamwork, leadership, communication, and conflict resolution. I've learned that leadership is truly an act of service, and they have to actively live up to the title of leader and not just be a title holder. I have learned that almost doesn't matter or define you. It is what you do to get past the almost that truly shows your service, dedication, and passion that allows you to become the best version of yourself. I do not want to say I was almost on Texas 4-H State Council. I want to be able to say with pride, I was a Texas 4-H at-large delegate, and I served this organization with passion, dedication, and intentional purpose. And don't forget, if you vote for me, Collier Miller, candidate number 6, you will get to see more of this angelic face. Thank you.
Thank you, Collier. Moving on to candidate number 7, Miranda Skaggs.
Remember when you were a little kid on the first day of school and you were so excited to bust open that brand new box of crayons? There's nothing like opening up the box to see the perfectly pointed set of crayons before you. You pull out what you think to be a blue for the lovely sky you're creating, only to find out it's that pesky one that turns out to be purple. Wasn't that annoying? Fast forward to your 3rd grade year, and one day your mom tells you to get ready for your first 4-H meeting. You're asked to recite the 4-H motto and pledge at the meeting, wondering, what has my mom gotten me into? Well, what you may not realize is that you're about to be introduced to the Texas 4-H program. This moment is like opening a brand new box of crayons. At first, you play it safe by using only neutral colors. But once your vision of what you want to create is clear, you start reaching for more vibrant colors. Eventually, you'll decide to grab every color you can, because Texas 4-H is something that is so colorful that there aren't enough crayons to capture the fun it's given you. Which brings us to today, an organization full of diverse colors that make the most wonderful box of crayons there ever was. Maybe some of us are successful in shooting sports or on a robotics team, excel in speaking events like educational presentations or share the fun, enjoy raising animal projects, and even still, there are those who can cultivate a successful vegetable garden, a skill that I was not blessed with. Texas 4-H represents individuality much like a box of crayons. Robert Fulgham once said, we can learn a lot from crayons. Some are sharp, some are pretty, some are dull, while others are bright. Some have weird names, but they're all learned to love being together in the same box. Maybe you don't know me very well, and maybe I'm not your favorite crayon color, but I can promise that if given the chance to represent Texas 4-H as an at-large delegate on State 4-H Council, I, Miranda Skaggs, will not disappoint you like the blue that always turned out to be purple did. I would greatly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Miranda. Moving on to candidate number 8, Hayden Hayowski.
Hi, Texas 4-H. Did you know you can shoot a bow and arrow, hunt for bugs, and program robots all while being a 4-H member? Neither did I until I joined. These are just a few of the 4-H projects I've done over the past 7 years I've been in 4-H. Hi, my name is Hayden Hayowski. Some of the other projects I've done while in 4-H include health and nutrition, consumer education, public speaking, and leadership. In fact, I found something I've been interested in almost every project area 4-H has to offer. Like many of the other candidates here, I have served as almost every officer position my local and county clubs offer, including the president of the Wilson County Council this year. In the past 3 years, I have also served as a state shooting sports ambassador, and this year I was chosen as a national shooting sports ambassador to represent our great state of Texas. To me, leadership is all about helping people discover their passions and becoming the best they can be. I have been lucky enough to have volunteers and leaders who have done this for me, and I'd like to pay their kindness forward by helping 4-Hers all across Texas discover what they love to do and continuing to grow. As a state and national shooting sports ambassador, I have been given the opportunity to promote 4-H and shooting sports. I would like the opportunity to continue to promote 4-H to interested members of the community and to represent you in our great state of Texas as a Texas Council delegate at large next year. So remember to vote for me, Hayden Hayowski. Thank you.
Thank you, Hayden. Now moving on to candidate number 9, Connor Pence.
Ronald Reagan said it best when he said, "The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. They are the ones that get the people to do the greatest things. In all of my years in 4-H, I have learned and practiced this thought. I joined 4-H because of my mom and everything that she had told me about her 4-H career and Green Jacket experience. In all of her descriptions, I had hope for the same experiences. It was heartwarming to hear everything she had learned. I wanted to help others just like she did. And I knew that it would have been an honor to be in such a great organization. I truly am a lucky person to be a part of 4-H and a part of all the diverse activities it has to offer. Through sheep, goats, pigs, livestock judging, food and nutrition, dog care and training, and public speaking, my 9 years in 4-H has taught me and developed new leadership skills, and I have been a part of many community service activities. In leadership and community service, I want to practice empathy, being able to understand the views of others while bringing members together with different viewpoints. In my opinion, the greatest thing that we can take away from this organization is the ability to form relationships with our fellow 4-H members. As I strive to follow the 4-H motto, I have realized that the connections that I have made and the relationships that I have provided me the opportunity to make the best better. I believe that it is important to know when to lead, when to follow, when to speak, and when to listen. 4-H has taught me many valuable lessons and tremendously great in my life. And all of those tools learned through 4-H is making me a better person. I am thankful I joined 4-H and have been a part of such a great organization. I am Connor Pence. Please vote for me as your at-large delegate on the 2021-2022 Texas 4-H Council, candidate number 9. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Our next candidate is candidate number 10, Logan Baker.
Howdy, Texas 4-H. My name is Logan Baker. I am running to be an at-large state council member, and today I will be walking you through the steps of how to make the best choice for a council member. So what you're going to want to do is start with the base of leadership and passion. You want a leader that has had enough time to develop their skills and their qualities, all while remaining passionate to 4-H and their service to others. Next, you're going to want to sprinkle over some responsibility, hard work, determination, and time management skills before drizzling over honesty, integrity, and social skills. All of these aforementioned qualities will ensure a member that gets their job done to the best of their ability. Finally, what you're going to want to do is mix together all of your ingredients to make the best candidate, which, if you haven't figured it out by now, that's me. Over my 9 years in the 4-H, I've been able to hold a wide variety of leadership roles and experiences on various levels like club, county, district, state, national, and international levels. And ever since I joined 4-H in 3rd grade, I have bled green and been extremely passionate about my service. All of my leadership roles have helped me develop the qualities of leadership, which in turn will help me better serve you. And finally, I'm a very honest and trustworthy person, all while remaining outgoing and friendly. So don't forget to vote for me, Logan Baker, for your next at-large council member. And our time together will be oh so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan. Our next candidate is candidate number 11, Carly Watson.
Walt Disney will forever be remembered as a man whose vision continues to shape our reality long after he has passed. Did you know that when he first had the idea for Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney was rejected by bankers 300 times because they thought the idea was absurd? Now, just imagine, if Walt Disney had given up on his vision anywhere between the 2nd to 299th rejection, we would have never grown up knowing about classics like Aladdin, The Lion King, or Beauty and the Beast. Hi, my name is Carly Watson, and my vision for Texas 4-H is to grow the leaders of tomorrow that will never give up and help each other out through the hard times. If I would have given up on my 4-H journey whenever I was 2 points away from getting first place in my first public speaking contest, or my pig not making weight at county, I would have never been able to be where I am today. I probably would still be scared to introduce myself at a 4-H club meeting. There are lots of things that are different from each of us, but I know there is at least one thing we all have in common. That being, we're all in 4-H. We're all on the same team and want to be the best leader we can be. Why would we not help the other person out when they're struggling with something as small as needing help on a record book or as big as the COVID-19 pandemic? Through the COVID-19 pandemic, we have faced many obstacles through all parts of life. We have learned how important it is to stick together and help someone when they need it. We have learned how to face obstacles and make things work in ways we didn't think were possible. Walt Disney said, "All the adversity I've had in my life, all the troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you." We must understand that having adversity may be hard in the moment, but can help us later in life. Whenever Walt Disney was rejected for Mickey Mouse, I highly doubt his first thought was that Mickey would be one of the most well-known cartoon characters. I believe to face the challenges we are given, we must have effective communication, loyalty, be able to adapt to change, recognize the gifts of others, and be able to have fun. The hard things I've had to face in life has helped me become the leader I need to be to make Texas 4-H the happiest and most successful program on earth. If Walt Disney were alive today, he would reassure you that from experience, there is no direct path to success, that your accomplishments depend solely on your dedication and willingness to persevere. He would also tell you that sometimes the key lies within your most unexpected daydreams. If you dream it, you can do it. I promise to use these character traits to serve Texas 4-H. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Moving on to candidate number 12, Amy K. Mathis.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve." I believe we can change the world if everyone will get involved, serving those in our sphere of impact and influence. Howdy, my name is Amy K. Mathis. I want to break barriers and build bridges, serving with you to empower Texas 4-H to make the biggest impact possible. In the last 4 years, I have logged over 900 hours of 4-H leadership and community service. I started a new 4-H club focused on learning and serving with at-risk youth in my community to make a greater impact. Creating spaces that fostered growth and unity enabled us to complete 8 service projects, encouraging nursing home residents, benefiting food pantry families, providing for needs of NICU moms in the state, and spreading cancer awareness nationally. I also have worked diligently as a livestock ambassador and team project leader. My 4-H experience has taught me that my comfort zone is not my limit, but it is my greatest limitation. I want to work with members to reach beyond our comfort zones to cultivate a culture that values our differences so we can utilize each other's strengths to learn, grow, and serve together. Please elect me, Amy K. Mathis, to serve you. Everyone can be great by serving, but when we serve together, we truly can make the best better for everyone in our state, our country, and our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy K. That concludes our presentations of the at-large delegates. So now I will turn it over to Cameron Jones to lead us in the thought questions portion of this presentation.
Awesome job on the speeches. As Luke said, we are going on to the thought question segment. I will draw a number from this bowl and then read the corresponding question. Our first candidate to go will be Carson Smith. Carson has question 10, which is, do you think that any current 4-H projects are outdated? If so, which ones and what would you replace them with?
I don't think any 4-H projects can be classified as outdated. I think all 4-H projects will always serve a purpose, no matter how many people are in it, how many people want to do it. I think there's always a point to any 4-H project, whether they're the first project to ever be done or they're the newest one that was just added, like beekeeping.
Thank you, Carson. We will now go on to candidate 2, Brinley Allison. And let's see. Brinley's question is 15. What does good driving and leadership have in common?
I think that good driving and leadership both share responsibility. It's important for both of them to be focused on their goal and their destination the entire time, and to maintain responsibility by always wearing your seatbelt, seeing what's around you. And same for when it goes to leadership. You have to see what kind of people you're working with and what's the goal at hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Brinley. We will now go on to candidate 3, Vela. Your question will be number 12. What is an object you have that you will never get rid of, and why?
An object that I have that I will never get rid of, as funny as it is my first buckle for rabbit showmanship. I personally loved the rabbit project, and it was what was my blue ribbon moment. That's where I started, and that's what I grew into, to be the exceptional leader and server that I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. As we mentioned earlier, candidate 4 is unable to continue with the process, so we will go on to candidate 5, Jonathan Good. Jonathan has question number 5. If you had the opportunity to add a new 4-H project at the cost of an already existing one, what would you choose and why? In terms of all the 4-H members in Texas, do you believe that this decision would draw in more members or lose current ones?
All right, thank you. So that's a hard question, which means it's a good question. So let me think about this. I would probably add a project specifically on leadership, like a leadership club or something along those lines. I think it's good to grow good leaders and things like that, especially, and it would probably teach things like how to observe people and things like that. I personally think that that's something I excel at, a little bit of learning kind of what people's strengths are and how to put them in the positions that they can do their best at, because I really love to see people do their best in any situation. And so I think that would be an excellent project, just so we can get the word out there, so we can have, because if we have the more great leaders we have, I think the better 4-H will, look to both inside, getting more well-rounded people, and out to the outside public. Now, let me think about this. It's so hard to choose a project to take away, because I think it would definitely cost 4-H members if you took away any project, and I think it would probably bring in, if you would have people outside of 4-H saying, okay, I can learn about leadership and things like that. I think it would bring in people, but you'd probably lose members for 4-H. Let's see, it's a good question. I'm trying to think of a good project that I see. Each project has an important thing that you can learn from it. Perhaps maybe a pistol project, but then again, or that's part of shooting sports, I believe, but just a subset of that. I think that's personally just that's a skill that you already kind of learned being around the shooting sports project. So maybe pistol shooting. I know it's not particularly large, at least in the area that I'm from, and I think that would cost members, but I think that you learn the same specifics and life skills from the other shooting sports projects like shotgun, rifle, archery, things like that. So maybe we can take out that, but for the most part, I think that adding a leadership project would be great, just to teach people how to lead, how to look at other people and say, okay, I think that you would excel here, and that if I put you in this position, you'll do your best in this situation, and just learning how to observe and lead in those things, and being a servant leader. And I think being a servant leader is very important, because a leader shouldn't be someone who just tells other people what to do. They should be someone who's on the front lines with them, working with them, and basically a leader should just take the responsibility for like any, I guess, failures that happen. That they should be the person that says, okay, we failed here, but how can we regroup? How can I make you guys excel as much as possible? Once again, my name is Jonathan Good. I'm candidate number 5. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Jonathan. We will now go on to candidate number 6, Collier Miller. Collier's question is number 7. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
Some advice that I would give someone that is going into a leadership position for the first time would just to be yourself. It's going into a new position is hard to be someone that you're not and trying to fit in without being yourself. So I believe being yourself is one of the best ways to start off a leadership job in the best way. Being yourself, you get to show everyone what you're like, what all you give to them, and just everything that you have to offer. Without being yourself, no one will really truly know you. No one will know what you can do and what you can accomplish through your own best version of yourself. And so I believe being the best version of being yourself and being true to yourself is one of the best possible advice, some of the best advice that I could possibly give to someone going into a new leadership job. Thank you.
Thank you, Collier. Next, we have candidate 7, Miranda Skaggs. Miranda's question is number 8. What is one thing that you could implement at the state level to impact Texas 4-Hers and why?
That is a great question. So something that I would love to add to Texas 4-H is a partnership between all of the major stock shows and the Texas 4-H program, which goes out to the metropolitan areas like Houston and San Antonio and goes and finds kids who would love to serve in leadership positions and learn more about 4-H. They just don't have the ability to. And I think that having the opportunity to recruit those youth and involve them in our programs would be an excellent opportunity to not only expose them to more leadership opportunities, but also potential scholarship opportunities in the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Miranda. Now we will have candidate number 8, Hayden Hayowski. Hayden's question will be at number 16. If you had to present the 4-H program to the President of the United States, what would you say?
Thank you. If I was presenting the 4-H program to the President of the United States, I would first lead off by saying that 4-H is a great organization that fosters leadership, skills, commitment, and ambition within our youth today. I would also go on to say that there are many different programs in which kids can get involved in 4-H today, ranging from leadership to public speaking to raising livestock to other more obscure ones like entomology and robotics. I then go on to say that 4-H fosters a community of very close individuals that help raise each other up. I know that in my personal experience, I've grown my own 4-H family and have felt really at home with people I've done my projects with. And so I would say the President of the United States that 4-H is a great program that includes all these things and is really beneficial to the youth of America.
Thank you, Hayden. Next, we will have Connor Pence, candidate number 9. And Connor has question 6. What does the green jacket mean to you, and how will you help others understand the meaning behind being on Texas 4-H Council?
Well, when I think about a green jacket, I first off think about something that somebody would wear. It's something that means it's very symbolic. It's very symbolic to a lot of people. And if somebody had walked up to me and asked, what does the green jacket mean to me? Well, the first thing I would have to tell them is that to me, it means the integrity and the passion that has been developed through this organization. When I think about 4-H and I think about the diversity that it does have to offer and that it continues to evolve, that green jacket is paving the way. And I want to let the other people know, just to understand how important that green jacket is that when being on Texas 4-H Council and helping others, we have to make sure to have a positive attitude. And when we carry ourselves in that manner, it's going to spread that positive attitude across the area and across the state of Texas. And that's why I feel that the green jacket just means about the passion, the positive attitude, and the relationships and the connections that we can make across the state of Texas. And that is something that I'd like to express to somebody else if they were asking, what does the green jacket mean to me? Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Next, we will have candidate 10, Logan Baker. Logan will be doing question 4. What do you feel is the best way to deal with adversity when planning a state 4-H program or event?
To deal with an adversity when you're trying to plan a state level event, I feel it's best to attack the problem head on. There's no need to sugarcoat or dance around the problem. To get something done, you have to attack it head on so that it can be fixed. I would then go about consulting all sources I had, such as adult advisors, other people involved, and see if I could work the event to best fit the schedule of the conflict or something like that, so that all parties involved could be benefited from both the state level event and the conflict that they may have. But ultimately, what has to happen, it has to be a sat down discussion over what can we do to make this work and what might other people have to give up, because unfortunately we do have to give up some things sometimes. But I would definitely try to attack it head on and take care of the solution as swiftly and as efficiently as possible as I could. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan. We will now go on to candidate number 11, Carly Watson. Carly will have question 1. Can you explain a time when you recognized you were wrong, and how did you handle the situation?
Well, there's been plenty of times I've been wrong, as I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with that. One time that really sticks out to me was an argument between me and my sister. And being the older sister, I thought I had to be right. And it was over something really stupid as who had dishes that day and who had to do laundry. I argued with her almost all day, and instead of just being the bigger person and not letting her have her way, but going with what her idea of right was, I fought against it, and both of us ended up getting in trouble when we could have just gone with what was right in the beginning and just going just doing what was best for both of us and giving her the upper hand because I'm the older person and I need to be someone that she looks up to. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Now we will have candidate 12, Amy K. Mathis. Amy's question will be number 2. How would you promote 4-H without social media or technology?
What? I would promote 4-H without using social media, by word to mouth advertisement. I would tell my friends to maybe tell their friends in their school or in their sports, just tell them what 4-H can do and tell them that all the things that you can do in 4-H and tell them about the leadership, and just really focus on the word to mouth, kind of just spreading the word of the great things that you can do in 4-H, and have a targeted audience to the younger kids who can grow up in 4-H like I did, which gave me great leadership and great service opportunities to really grow as a person. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy K. This concludes our 2021 at-large delegate presentations and dot questions. Make sure to stay updated with the Texas 4-H social media for more instructions on how to vote. Thank you.